For a time, we tried to contact him by radio, but no response.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to episode 38 of the One Mark Podcast. It's your boys, your favorite Saturday brunch bunch. Gentlemen, Donald with the fresh fade. Look at you. Crispy out there, right?
Yeah, it's too hot now, so the summer
officially turned on the AC yesterday. I was trying to hold out till June 1, and this 90-degree weather was not helping, so I broke down. Turned it on yesterday, and with summer fast approaching, all you single guys out there, I don't got to worry about this because I'm locked down, right? I'm cuffed. I'm in it for life, right? All you single guys out there, don't get fooled with the sundresses this year, okay? I know we're locked down for over a year, okay? You come outside, you see some sundresses. Don't get fooled by the sundresses, all right? Guys, we don't have the equivalent of the sundress. We can't go out there and get girls oogling and on. Like, I don't know what the guy's version is. Like,
gray sweatpants.
Well, but you ain't wearing gray sweatpants in 90-degree weather. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they gave us gray sweatpants in the winter. Like, what does that help? That's not helping nobody out. Like,
I wore sweatpants 24/7. I wore sweatpants for the past 2 years.
Well, so the other thing that you gotta watch, and I didn't want to admit this personally, but somebody else on the show finally got fooled the way I got fooled. The flex fit pants, guys. Don't get fooled with the flex fit pants, okay? You thinking that you're okay? Like somebody over there to my left thought, slimmed down during the pandemic comes out. That flex fit waistband was like, nah, bro. You're at 38, you're at 42. Don't get fooled by it.
Man. I had jeans and everything yesterday at work.
You go out there. You about to, like, I picked up a pair.
On my way, I
didn't even realize I had flex fit stuff. Honestly, swear to God, like I didn't even realize it. Like I just picked it up because I was like, "Yo, okay, this looks good." My size, like, cool. Put it on. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Strapped on the belt was gravy. I pulled out a pair of pants that was the same size, and I was like, "What is this shit?" I was like, I went to my wife. Did you shrink my stuff in the wash? Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah,
dog. I looked on it, saw the flex fit. I was like, "Oh, that's shady."
Now they start making like jeans with that stuff now, and I rarely wear jeans. So I got a pair of jeans, and it's like, oh, all pants are like this. No,
they are terrible.
I mean,
I did that with work pants too a couple months ago. I bought some new ones. Like, okay, I'm cool. As soon as I put them on, I'm like, nope.
So make sure if you're out there shopping, check that tag and make sure it's not that flex fit waistband because it will play tricks on you.
I put them on a little snug. I walked out the door like, okay, we good. Took a seat. Yeah, no, this ain't working. It was too late though.
It's like sitting on the pirate ship and getting that bar jammed into your stomach on the way down on the ride. That's exactly what it was. Like, yo, this.
Your boy had the Vinnie Mac walk all day. Like,
that's whenever you got the belt, you got to trick the system. You got to unsnap the snap and just roll the belt.
Hey, that's what I'm thinking. I didn't think
you got fool. You got to cheat the system there, bro. You got to unsnap that button.
Acting like it's after Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we got some nice weather. I got 54 bags of rubber mulch to put out this weekend. So I love my wife for picking the hottest weekend of the year for me to do this because it has to be done before Memorial Day next weekend. So shout out to her for just absolutely ruining my weekend. And my allergies are kicking my ass right now. I feel like I have like a 7-pound plate on just all up on the front part of my face. Haven't been able to breathe for a couple of days, and so it's rough out here. All you allergy sufferers, you know what I'm feeling. It's nonstop.
I got double up on my medicine anymore. That's the only way to get through.
Like, I was cool last year. Everything was good. And this year so far, it's been horrible. I bought some stuff last night out of the store, some spray to go along with the allergy pills. Some doing, on and off. But it's just like, I just want to be able to breathe again and not feel like I have 7 pounds sitting on top of my face. So
I totally get it.
All right. Well, with all that being said, shout out to everybody for joining today. Thanks for tuning in, supporting the pod. We love you guys. What do you guys want to hop into? A lot of stuff to cover in the intro this week.
Yeah, we've got a lot. Again, another busy week with TV news. You guys want to hop into that first?
Yeah, which is odd because it's coming up on the end of season for stuff. So it's like,
well, this is also, it's the end of the season, but it's also everybody announcing their fall schedules at the same time. So May's always busy for TV.
Before we hop into TV, since we do got a lot of that, I did have one gaming thing, and I know we're light on gaming this week, but I saw the Avengers vs. X-Men game is reportedly in development using Injustice 2 engine.
Ooh, okay.
So got a little excited at the prospect of that one.
Man, NetherRealm got the license to everything.
Yeah, so I'll be keeping my eye out for that and seeing when it drops. It didn't have anything in there as far as timeline or anything. It was mainly like speculation, but the fact that they're using the Injustice 2 engine is pretty exciting news there. So keep your eye out.
Injustice 2. DC announced this week, and this is more movie news, but that they're making an Injustice animation movie. So that whole story of the games is going to become a movie, and I enjoyed the story whenever I played the video games. So looking forward to seeing what they do with a movie with it.
Well, since you brought up DC, I saw, and I don't know if this is going to mean anything to anybody, but Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is set to play Crypto the Super Dog in DC League of Super Pets for Warner Brothers. So Dwayne Johnson, sticking with the comic theme here, Black Adam, which I'm excited for. I think that's going to be. I'm hoping that it's good.
I like Shazam, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this next movie.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this, and that, but just something that caught my eye moving forward. Since you brought up DC, normally when you see DC stuff, it's for it being shit. So hopefully they I don't know how you could ruin Super Pets. Their
movies are shit. But their animation movies and their TV shows are decent.
Why am I on this podcast?
Hey, that's one person's take. That's not everybody's take.
You know me. I love everything.
Hey, there's a couple of movies I like from them. Just
Shazam. One movie I like Shazam.
There's one movie I can't stand to death.
That's a whole other conversation for a different show. Before we get into TV news this week, just wanted to bring up, we discussed Surfshark last week. Just wanted to kind of bring it up for you guys again. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I watch Netflix, Hulu, even some of the other streaming services, I always use a VPN to kind of like unlock other content from other countries' services. Maybe you don't even want to use a VPN for unlocking content. Maybe you just want to use it to protect your information online. So you kind of brought up last week, right now it's kind of a good time to start protecting yourself with VPN. But I use Surfshark VPN for whenever I use everything. It's one subscription, allows you to install and run Surfshark on an unlimited number of devices. Plus, they have apps on all platforms. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. So go onto our website, dumbmarkspod.com. Whenever you go on there, you can either click on Surfshark VPN on the top header of the menu bar, or you can click on the logo on our sidebar, and click on it, learn more information about Surfshark VPN. Whenever you get started, you can save 81%. Plus, whenever you subscribe to Surfshark VPN, not only just protecting your information or unlocking other content on different streaming services, you're helping support this show. So if you're interested in protecting information using a VPN and supporting the Dumbmarks podcast, go to our website, dumbmarkspod.com, click on Surfshark VPN and learn a little bit more.
Yep. So don't be a dumb mark. Get out there and protect yourself. Click on Surfshark and get locked in with the VPN there. So now that we had that shameless ad plug, good job there getting that in. We got to pepper that up. We got to get that. We got to pepper that up. We got to add some excitement to that ad read. Okay.
Hey, are you tired of raw dogging the internet?
There it is.
There it goes.
There it is.
Man,
there it is.
Surfshark.
There it is. Right.
I'm surprised nobody picked the skip ad part on that part.
We do a little work at the beginning, and now it says includes
before TV and movie news, one other thing I saw for all you Marvel fans out there, the Lego Infinity Gauntlet set was announced. You can go out and pre-order it now. It will be 590 pieces, complete with the Infinity Stones, a display stand, and the fingers are movable, so you can recreate the snap. So, yeah.
What's the price looking like?
$69.99.
Oh, so it's about to be like this. Is about
that can't fit an adult man.
It's not the Star Wars ones that cost like $189.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it doesn't say like dimension wise what it is size wise, but I mean, yeah, given the fact that not that 590 pieces is a small Lego set, but
still.
Yeah, but it's not like building the Death Star where it's 3,200 pieces or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Steve with a Star Wars reference.
That you're not going to get much more out of me. Okay? Just plug them. Just saying what I heard over the years. Okay, fake it till you make it, brother. Fake it till you make it.
Star Wars fan.
So yeah, but. I just thought that was interesting out there. All you collectors and that, I'm sure that's going to be a hot commodity. Don't know how quickly they'll sell out, but something to add to your set there. And with that being said, you guys want to hop into TV and movies here before we wrap up the intro?
Sure. I got a lot. Does anybody else have anything that they want to cover first?
I'll go through what I marked off first. So there's a League of Their Own TV show, which is casting baseball and softball players. If you're of our age bracket, the movie A League of Their Own, great movie, infamous for there's no crying in baseball. Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball. So yeah, they're casting individuals for that now. The Wonder Years reboot, we talked about this a little while ago. The Wonder Years reboot, the trailer was released this week. So you can go on the comicbook.com and check that trailer out. Looks pretty good. I enjoyed the Wonder Years. So I'm hoping that it'll what's old is new again, but hopefully it's done right and it hits on the feels for everybody. So
I know Wonder Years is one of your favorites. How you feeling about it?
Don't mess with the original. Sorry, that's one you don't need to touch. You don't need to touch it.
So Don Cheadle is the big name that's involved with the reboot.
Is he the narrator?
Yeah, he's the narrator. And it's set to take place between the late 1960s and 1970s.
Where's it going to air at? Do you know?
ABC?
Yeah, ABC. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be on Wednesday nights on ABC.
Yeah, so it'll tackle and cover different points of view and themes from the original. Obviously, with it being through the eyes of African American kids in that. So it's a different spin on the Wonder Years, but It looks good. I enjoyed the trailer, so I'll give it a chance whenever it airs and see how it plays out.
Donald, that sounds like a good question for you.
Daniel, I forget his last name, but he was Harry off of Home Alone. It was him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah,
nice
Daniel.
call.
Yeah.
Leave it to Dr. Bertholt to throw out there a good question. Like, this ain't Stump the Schwab, Justin.
Yeah, we didn't sign up for trivia questions.
Well played though. That was because I was stumped for a minute. I'm like, wait a second, who was the narrator?
Mm-hmm.
Look at us coming through in the clutch answering questions. Nice. The other big thing that I saw this week, movie-wise, finally, for all you Halloween fans out there, Hocus Pocus 2 was confirmed. The original cast will all be back. How can you hate on Hocus Pocus?
Never saw the first one.
Such a classic.
Never saw it.
When Halloween rolls around this year, get your nephew out there and watch Hocus Pocus with him.
Nah.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Watch it.
I'm good. We'll scroll past too many other things. He'll like.
Such a great movie.
It is. So I mean, it's yeah. So I mean, that
better
was
than anything DC's put out.
It's absolutely true.
One more little dig in there.
And yeah, I'm trying to think. Go ahead, Chris. You can hop on your stuff and going through seeing what else I had marked down here.
Okay. All fall schedules for network TV have been released, so you guys can go check out online, see what's coming back in the fall schedule. And I brought this up last week, NBC, because NBC had released their schedule last week. They didn't have one sitcom on their fall schedule. Fox, they'll have their animation like on Sunday, but other than that, they don't have any other like real sitcoms on their fall schedule either, which I thought is a little weird. This is the first time that I can remember, and like not just one network TV not doing sitcoms, but two network TVs not doing any sitcoms for the fall. They have other ones, like I said, for NBC for the midseason, but so many dramas are going to be on this fall.
I want to see the return of live studio audience sitcoms.
Yeah.
So you get the authentic laughter in the back.
Yeah. So the laugh track, I agree.
Yeah.
We had talked about these shows previously, like last fall. We're big game show fans here. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune and Supermarket Sweep were renewed. They'll be on ABC's fall schedule on Sunday nights in the fall.
Love Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah. Amazon is in negotiations to buy MGM for rumored to be $9 billion. So that's kind of interesting. You know, Amazon's been getting in the movie game the past few years, won some awards for some of their movies as well. The big thing with MGM, of course, is the Bond franchise. So if they do this, you know, Amazon Prime could be the potential exclusive home for all Bond movies. So,
I know MGM been having problem with like bankruptcy and stuff for years. Yeah.
They've had tons of problems, but I think that's really what's, you know, kept them afloat is the Bond franchise. You know, all the money that comes in from that. And last but not least, this is kind of like the big news this week. AT&T announced it's spinning off Warner Media, which is basically the home of HBO Max, and merge it with Discovery to form a new company to be determined later.
$130 billion media company.
Yeah. So this is most likely going to result in HBO Max and Discovery Plus being merged together. That'll probably be like the big thing out of this deal. Right now, HBO Max has 44 million subscribers, and Discovery Plus has 15 million. So and I'm guessing Discovery Plus will be rolled into HBO Max, you know, since they have the more subscribers.
I did see some of the assets being transferred were TNT, TBS, and Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
So
will it be merged or will it be bundled like how Disney does Netflix and Hulu?
To be determined, because they haven't even set up the official company yet.
Okay.
It's not like they're just absorbing Discovery into it. They're taking both companies and going to form a brand new company.
Brand new one, yeah.
Yeah.
So would that mean AEW on HBO Max.
So
we'll get into that on Bell to Bell. But
one of the things that I was surprised this week in that is that AEW didn't discuss anything about HBO Max or right now they're on Bleacher Report Live to watch previous stuff. But yeah, I was really surprised they didn't announce anything like that as part of their new deal.
Okay.
But the merger between AT&T and Discovery is set to complete mid-2022. That's all I got for TV and movies.
It sounded like the one show I used to watch on Sci-Fi Continuum where like all the companies merged together and bought the government.
One day.
So, yeah.
Well, this isn't a political show, so we won't get into that.
Very true. But it sounds just like that.
Yeah.
And they added Kate Hudson to Knives Out 2.
I did see that. That movie.
I'm a rom-com fan, so I'm all in. Love
that cast keeps growing. I enjoyed the first one, so I'm really looking forward to the second one.
So it's gonna be the new Avengers.
If you didn't watch it, Knives Out, the first one's on Amazon Prime.
I
recommend checking it out.
I don't have Prime, so
if you like Clue, you'll like this movie.
Didn't watch Clue either.
No, that's a classic '80s movie.
No, played the board game. Didn't watch the movie.
That's all you need to do. Just play the board.
All right. With that being said, let's wrap up this intro and jump into a heavily jam-packed, loaded edition of Bell to Bell. Man, so much went on this week in the world of professional wrestling across the board. Big time announcements were made. A lot of stuff. But I guess let's jump back into Sunday and talk about what everybody else has already talked about. So, given the fact that we're only on Saturdays, we come in late sometimes with stuff, but still want to break it down and discuss it here. Zombies. Just jump right into it. Zombies.
That's when you start. Not the main event.
No.
Okay.
We're going strictly with zombies.
I'll admit, I said that I wasn't going to watch the pay-per-view at all, and I came in a little late to it because I was watching documentaries, and the first thing I saw was the zombie match, and I was like, I'm done for the night. I'm sorry.
7 figures.
Was done for the night.
So I was watching the Michaels documentary on A&E. Really good. Enjoyed it. It was done really well. Again, just the stark differences between 4 out of the 5 are undeniable. Like you can't. Lanny Poffo, Macho Man's brother, came out and gave his thoughts on the documentary this past week as well, and broke it down and kind of cleared the air on things. A lot of the stuff with the way it was presented wasn't factual and true. So, the adage in wrestling is never let the truth get in the way of a good story. And some of the stuff that they were talking about, even though it wasn't good, it was still untrue. So you can go on and look that up yourself if you're interested to see what his thoughts were. We won't dive into that, but
it feel like Montrose and Michaels was the same documentary, just in a different tone, and Michaels got to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's we talked about this last week, but you can't the individuals that were selected to be on that doc were terrible. Like it just it's day and night compared to the other 4 and how they were done and how they were presented. So that's all I'll say about that.
I mean, Warrior was alive whenever they did that self-destruction one, but I mean, look at that. Like they didn't use him; they just all voiced their own opinions on him.
So I'll be interested to see how that turns out tomorrow night because
very true.
Commercial spinning it good. So
yeah. The trailer I watched yesterday for it. I mean, it seemed like the trailer had the daughters being heavily involved in the story. So it looks like they're going to try to tell the personal side of him more than the business side, maybe. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So I was watching that, and then I put on because with Peacock, like I can't get on the Peacock on my phone to watch it on my phone while I'm watching something else on TV. So I ended up streaming the last part of the dock on my phone and turned on the pay-per-view on Peacock on the TV, and I came in for the two main events, the triple threat match and the SmackDown match. So I have no idea what was going on with the zombies until I pulled up Twitter after the pay-per-view was over and saw the timeline freaking out about how WWE's, complaining and saying that AEW sets the business back 30 years, and then they go out and they do this bullshit.
With blading. Not the fall, blading.
Let's just remember that WWE tried this once before, back in 2006 with the ECW relaunch, where they were on Sci-Fi, so they brought out a zombie, and that got such bad backlash. So yeah, let's try it again. Yeah,
well, no, so
this was a partnership. This was a deal.
Here's the thing was there was no promotion at all until Sunday. So like you were doing it for Batista's new movie, and there's no promotion at all. Batista does the open for the pay-per-view, which was good.
It wasn't.
And he made the announcement, you never know who may show up, kind of teasing that he would be there, but obviously he wasn't. He sent the zombies instead. And it's just like
I was cracking up that people were blaming Batista for the zombies.
And he tweeted back like, "Why are you tweeting me? Tweeted Vince McMahon. I wasn't the one that."
You're like, I'm on a plane.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you could have done it 1,000 different ways, and it would have been better than the way that they chose to proceed with doing it on the show itself.
There were people who loved it. I wasn't one, but there were people who actually loved it.
I
want to know who those people are.
It wasn't my cup of tea. I would have been happy if they would have went a different route with it. Have the regular lumberjack match, and then afterwards have the zombies come out, and then that's whenever they take down Miz and Morrison, and then you go into the trailer for the movie. Like, just anything else besides actually having zombies be the lumberjacks, and then
hey, Scotty too hot, he got work.
Everybody knows what a fucking zombie is, and Adnan Vargas giving a literal Webster dictionary definition of what a zombie is. It sent Dave LaGreca off the deep end on Busted Open this week. Like he was full blown. He was telling callers he was cussing out callers. Like he turned the pay-per-view off. LaGreca, who's been covering the business for what, I don't know, 30 plus years as the number one show on Sirius, and he's turning the pay-per-view off.
Really?
Because of zombies.
Really?
Yeah,
really.
Really?
Absolutely.
100%.
This is
absolutely.
sports entertainment. The same shit we grew up on. What do you expect?
Better than that.
What do you expect? The pay-per-view was good. Real good.
So I will say
real good.
The triple threat match was good. Roman and Cesaro was good. I thought Roman and Cesaro was match of the night. I predicted.
Dolphin Ray was good. You just hated the outcome.
Oh, and here's the outcome with that. Bully Ray was like, you have a pay-per-view on 6/20. Father's Day is 6/20. Why would you not wait until Father's Day to have them win and be the first father-son champion to win the belts?
We don't need that many cosmic things to align.
Hey, if you're going to put it on, I mean,
we know.
Everybody got opinions in hindsight. Just take it for what it was. I don't want them to milk it another week. Then you'll complain if they have another tag team match on SmackDown.
But they're continuing to milk. They're continuing to milk it. If you go from WrestleMania, the booking up to WrestleMania Backlash, and then this past week's booking, nothing has changed. It's still the same feuds.
They didn't even wrestle.
Who didn't wrestle?
Ray did wrestle.
Yeah, it's still the same feuds.
The tag team division. There's only 4 people, four teams.
Oh, and this bullshit last night on SmackDown with Natty with Shayna and Nia being there because of the the once a quarter intercross branded
wild card.
superstars allowed to, you made that shit up before the show. You've never once said once a quarter, and it hasn't been once a quarter that Raw stars have moved their SmackDown.
No, they did.
Raw.
They did have it. Once before. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, once before, but culminated out to seem that once every quarter they've done it, and they haven't done it.
It's the second time in the quarter.
Was it AJ? Was that who they used it before? I forget who it was, but
before it was a wild card rule.
Yeah.
Once again, so you're just continuing one dumb thing over for another.
Yeah.
Let WWE break down their own doors, okay?
I'll be completely honest.
Open the door to their own company. Let them do that.
I'll be completely honest. I didn't watch a damn thing WWE this week after the pay-per-view. I didn't want to. Didn't feel the need to. I didn't watch Raw. Didn't watch NXT. Didn't watch SmackDown. The only thing I watched was AEW.
I watched some stuff Monday night. I didn't sit through the whole 3 hours. I was flipping on and off. I forget what else I was watching Monday night, but
tune in next week. We come up your early AEW.
There was some good. I mean, there were a couple good things on Raw. There's only a couple good things, but an overall full show, it's still lagging. I like what they're doing with Orton and Riddle. Again, they were good this week. I was super Drew coming out to answer the first off. Here's my pet peeve. Can we stop with the open challenges? Every single company and every single title has a goddamn open challenge now, and it takes away from what the open challenge is supposed to do, which is add to the title.
I seen you only at Raw though.
And what are you talking about?
On Twitter.
I wasn't tweeting live on Wednesday night with Dynamite.
Was that Chris? Oh, dirty dog.
Yeah, I
try to gauge when I read the tweets. I'm trying to gauge who's tweeting.
No, son, that wasn't me. That was Chris out here.
It was me, Jason. It was me all along.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't really enjoyed an open challenge since Cena with his U.S. title run.
That's very true.
Yeah,
it's done way too much. It's overkill, and it takes away from the luster that elevated that title. Even though John Cena had it, but that open challenge and the matches he put on and the randomness of the people that came out, where you had Sami Zayn, you had Kevin Owens, you had Cesaro, it added so much to that title. And elevated it because it was done so well, but now it's just overkill, and it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. It's just an excuse to
put somebody on the show.
And have a match, and that's not what it's supposed to do. Please stop.
I know it's not done, but it doesn't make sense whenever it's when you have someone say like Matt Riddle answering the challenge where it's going to do nothing. I agree. It needs to give purpose to it.
Now, if this is a way for Kofi to get into the main event picture again, which, at first Drew comes out and I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. They are not going to run this back again. And they did a little swerve, but
yeah, everybody calling her shout out throughout the night.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And Mace.
Yeah.
Really?
Horrible promo.
Because I didn't watch Raw or read that.
It was so bad. The face paint that they have on it's so Milli Vanilli-esque.
It's the face paint.
It's terrible.
I'm not in a promo. It was the face paint.
No, some of that verbiage they used in that promo was hot garbage too.
Here comes the Axer. There goes the Smasher. Or Demolition.
Hey, Demolition was 1,000 times better than them two.
Oh,
okay? Even if they wore dominatrix outfits to the ring. And I was 6 years old, had no idea that leather and spikes meant what leather and spikes do.
No idea.
Same here. They were just cool tag team.
Yeah. But no, so yeah, I mean, it was what it was. A lot of bad.
Then you put Drew back in the picture.
Yeah.
Can we get enough of McIntyre, please?
That's Raw. Raw's problem is that they have, 3 people in the main event picture right now, and there's nobody that's even close to being able to be elevated right now.
No.
So like we're getting Hell in a Cell in June because they switched Hell in a Cell and Money in the Bank because they thought Money in the Bank was more conducive to having fans in the live crowd, and Hell in a Cell could be done in the Thunderdome, which I get, you know, but you better have the right people win Money in the Bank matches, or else that crowd's going to shit all over it.
Yeah.
So Hell in a Cell is the next pay-per-view, and I'm looking and I'm like, all right, so we got a gimmick pay-per-view, which means we need to have, you know, at least 2 to 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Who's going to be put in the cell? And right now, to me, Seth and Cesaro should be in the cell based off of their build before Mania, their match at Mania, and now what has transpired. Don't give me Cesaro and Roman. Give me Seth and Cesaro, and be that as you know,
and that,
and have the winner of that come out to challenge Roman at Money in the Bank or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody call a match already?
What's that?
Didn't somebody call a match already? I can't remember. It was so long ago. In the cell, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah, I don't know, but. So, like, other than that, like, who else is really worthy of being in the cell right now, feud-wise? If you go Drew and Bobby, that's just going to be
no need.
Do you go Bianca Bailey in the cell?
Potentially, that could be in the cell, but I think if Sasha comes back, you can put those 3 in a cell.
Yeah.
I'd like to see another tag, but there's
nobody
interesting right now.
Like
I wouldn't mind seeing Dominic get the shit beat out of him in Hell in a Cell.
I say you can do Jimmy versus Jay in a cell.
Interesting. Yeah,
that'd be real interesting.
Or repeat Roman. You know,
Roman and Jimmy.
Yeah.
You have Roman and Jimmy in the cell. You know, maybe the Intercontinental gets in the cell. I don't know.
Even before like the Aleister Black stuff, you could have threw Big E and
can we talk about what a wasted return that was? You're hyping him up with these vignettes, and I like the vignettes. I like the story that's being told with the vignettes. I was an Aleister Black fan. I enjoy his work in the ring. He can actually cut a really good promo when you let the man speak. And then you just bring him out. It just felt like so random just to bring him out at the end of SmackDown in the Intercontinental, 4-way last night and have him attack Big E. And it's like, why? What's the motivation? What's the draw? The vignettes didn't seem like they were done being aired. So it's like, it just felt like a really random time just to bring him back and throw him out there.
Now, if this puts him in the picture, in the IC picture, I don't mind. I don't want him to have just a straight feud with Big E, just for no reason.
If Big E would have been the champ, I would have understood it a little bit more. But not whenever he's not the champ anymore. It doesn't make sense.
So
what did this do for Big E then too?
Well, that's like, so I don't know. Hell in a Cell is going to be interesting because you're going to get at least one Raw match and one SmackDown match. So you're going to have at least 2 cell matches. Again, Seth and Cesaro should be the one that goes into the cell. I think you can tell that story. Obviously, Cesaro, what a sell by him last night with that curb stomp on the ramp. Fucking beautifully done. Just amazing. Those 2 need to be in the cell based off of where their feud has been and how it's escalated. And with Seth taking him out, you know what I mean? Like that to me needs to be the one from SmackDown, even though there's no title involved, which, lately in recent memory, it's like only title matches are the ones that are in the cell. Like, give me that blood feud blow off cell match like you used to have back in the day whenever it wasn't all about the title being on the line. So I don't know, but
going back to Raw, do you think Ricochet? Do you think this is his? Do you think they replace him with Humberto, or do you think that was just
listen, Ricochet and Ali on main event have been fantastic. promo wise and match wise. Now I don't know why they picked Ricochet over Ali to be the one to step in and take over for Humberto.
Mm-hmm.
I like the match Ricochet had on the pay-per-view with Sheamus.
I missed that one.
It was good. And then the whole got your hat situation, kind of, playing off the Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather.
Oh,
okay, timely cultural reference, WWE. I'll actually give you that one. And then came out on Monday night and had another really good match with Sheamus. But it's like
I like the style was more hard hitting than this one.
It was, yeah. It wasn't as much. It wasn't as much as the aerial stuff that we seen from Ricochet. So it's just, you got to let him be him. Like, he can, based off of what he's done on the promos for main event, he can cut a decent promo when it's just him talking and being him. Let him be that flamboyant, cocky character that he's kind of shown on main event. So where they go with it, I don't know, but I wouldn't mind seeing Ricochet in there. I think he's been wasted talent since he's been called up.
I agree.
Yep.
Totally.
100%.
Oh, I don't know. Was there anything else that you liked from Raw, Jay?
Not that I can think of. It was so long ago.
That's the other thing. Like, this week, before we went live today, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like,
and so many things happen.
WrestleMania Backlash felt like it was 3 weeks ago, and it was just last Sunday. And I'm like, holy shit! Like, what's going on? There's so much.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that felt like that.
Then one Impact on Saturday.
Impact was Saturday, or no, that wasn't this Saturday. It was,
okay.
No, yeah, Impact was last Saturday.
Yeah,
Under Siege was last Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday, Sunday. It's a whole week, another long week of wrestling.
Yep. So I think, and we'll talk about the announcement with AEW when we go to cover them. But I think you're going to start to see wrestling fatigue, which is going to hurt viewership because there's so much on every single night, and it's like you'll have your occasional fans that will tune in. Even diehards, like, I think will start to get fatigued, like, covering this. I know it was hard for me this week to watch every single night and keep up on everything. So but that's all I have main roster wise from Raw and SmackDown. A couple things that I really liked. Roman's promo in the ring last night was good. Hey, I keep telling you, you guys laughed at me last week, but this version of him is going to go down as one of the best ever. It's going to be one of the best ever runs.
Wasn't that Paul? They came out to the Shield music yesterday.
Yeah, I was like,
that threw me off. It was like, what the heck?
So I thought Fightful Wrestling tweeted out yesterday, it's been 9 months since Roman's return and he still feels fresh. And I thought that was a really good point because things in WWE go stale very quickly. And the fact that he comes out week to week and it's still fresh. He's adding different things each week that's keeping the character fresh. Like last night, whenever him and Jay were in the office talking about the tag team match and that, and he's talking about the main event and the right hand man and the tribal chief. This is we and this and that, and then he grabbed him by the back of the head like you see in the mafia movies, and he pulled him in and leaned behind and whispered in his ear and then just gave him a look and walked away. It's like it's little stuff like that he does on a weekly basis that just continuously has been adding to the character.
I'm gonna start dressing Dawn like bringing my cousin.
I'm okay. I don't need to be the leader. I always want to be the right hand anyway. The enforcer. That's cool.
WWE did announce that they will be returning to live event touring. Obviously, that was made, blatantly clear last night with the promotion that they did for it. But
people pissed about that.
It's a 25 city schedule through Labor Day. Tour begins July 16th with SmackDown in Houston, Texas. Money in the Bank is July 18th in Fort Worth, Texas. What I want to bring up and see what your guys' thoughts on this. John Alba on Twitter tweeted out. Let me just read through this to see what you guys think. He says, I've theorized that the Thunderdome is the future of WWE programming, but with number date tour coming up, it has me thinking. Maybe the model is a fixed setup like Thunderdome, then hitting the road for tours with breaks in between. Seems like a win-win. Talent would be given breaks from the road and could rest up during the times, tapings, or solely in the Thunderdome situation. When tour times rolls around, maybe 3 or 4 major ones a year, tickets become a hot commodity. Since TV rights deals are so high, that secures the money to make this approach happen. What do you guys think if they go on like these 20 to 25 city tours 3 or 4 times a year and just continue to tape in the Thunderdome?
I wish they did live shows in Thunderdome where they're getting near repetition, but you can tune in and join the crowd and then have like your main shows as like a rolling tour.
Would you be so would you so you want Raw and SmackDown to be touring? Is that what you're trying? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
Yeah.
So instead of like doing these house shows, these 25 city tours, you want the 25 city tour to just be either a Raw or a SmackDown.
Yeah, just to have that fan feel on TV. But then again, you got the states, each state's regulations. So that's
right, which is why I like the suggestion that he said where like
until it opens up.
Until everything's open across the board, keep Thunderdome in place for your Raw and your SmackDown. You can have your tours with a pay-per-view sprinkled in, and people will be, people will want to spend the money on the tour whenever it comes because that's the only kind of like back in the day where the household, the live event is what drew the money. Mm-hmm. This one's a little reverse. The TV deal's already there. It secured the money. Mm-hmm. So now we're just giving the live events as specials, live specials on the road that you can go on and see. Chris, you're over there with a face over there. What are you thinking?
It's not so much a face, just trying to think about, like, what are they really going to do here? Because, like, they're going to, that whole weekend, they're going to be what? You said Houston, Friday, Fort Worth, Money in the Bank, and then they're in Dallas, I think, Monday for Raw that week.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? They're going to be live those 3 shows with fans, and then they're going to go back to the Thunderdome after that.
We honestly don't know how, you know what I mean? Like,
because if they're only going to do 25 cities through Labor Day, that's not enough time. That's not enough weeks, to go live. Right. So
again, is it going to be a mixture of, house shows and see? To me, I think with restrictions still in place and everything else, I think it would be smart that if you stick to the Thunderdome, maybe whenever there's a pay-per-view, you can do like a 3-city hit piece Friday, like they're doing, Houston pay-per-view, Fort Worth, Raw, in Dallas. Like there's 3 live events right there.
Yeah.
And then the following Friday, that SmackDown is back in the Thunderdome. Like,
do you think this kind of like what AEW is doing at the moment, they might need to do, where if they go to Dallas for Raw on Monday, maybe they tape Raw and SmackDown that week there, or tape 2 episodes of Raw there?
You can't. I think you want to limit the exposure to the least amount of travel as possible right now.
That's what I'm thinking. To do 2 shows at a time. At the same time, like the fans are there. Okay, we're going to tape this week's Raw and next week's Raw. Or we're going to tape this week's Raw and this week's SmackDown at the same time.
See, I don't know if you could do that because then you're asking fans to sit for 5 hours of wrestling.
And they have done that, but it is a lot.
It's a lot.
You've gone to shows, and you're exhausted by the time SmackDown rolls around.
So, like, I would, maybe you do, and it. Wait and see what the blueprint looks like, because I think the setup with the pay-per-view being there in July, that works out good for 3 live events with fans in the crowd. And since they do a pay-per-view once a month, you could have that setup. But I just don't know if they'll go like full bore back into touring as well as every show being live over the course of this 25 city tour. I don't know. Everybody's going to do it differently. You know, MLW announced their 3 live events, and it's like July, September, November with fans. Now that's a small scale promotion, so they're not going to be, you know, WWE wise. AEW is announced with fans coming back and kind of seeing what they're going to be. ROH announced fans coming back, so like it'll be interesting to see how each promotion handles it with the travel and actually how many times we'll see live fans in the stands.
I will say I'm surprised just because AEW and WWE are already based in Florida right now that they're not starting the tour in Florida just to keep it simple for travel. Because they're like AEW's doing.
What's the restriction doing?
AEW
Florida's open just like Texas is.
Yeah, Florida's been open like Texas has. Yeah.
So they're all, but AEW and WWE are going to pretty much. AEW's doing one show in Miami, and then they're heading to Texas for.
But is Daly's Place limiting?
Daly's Place is still
not anymore.
No.
Yeah. So double or nothing. They'll be
full.
They'll be
5,000. Yeah,
but that'll be the first full one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if Dynamite this week is or if that's pre-taped. I'm not sure.
Because it's on Friday night. I think it was I think it's pre-taped. It's the go home show before the pay-per-view, so I don't know. They may want to go live there. I don't know. Like with them having to move because of the playoffs for basketball, that's why they're on Friday night at 10.
Yeah.
Which you have SmackDown 8 to 10 and then Dynamite 10 to midnight. So there's a 4-hour block of wrestling there. But it'll just be interesting to see how each promotion handles live fans coming back and how they set that up. So not to go.
I think they're going to Texas. I think they're going to Texas just for a change of scenery.
Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that early jump on Dallas, the Dallas life.
Yeah, like not every promotion is WWE that's linked, $3 billion deals to where you have that TV right money, although you're still cutting rosters citing budget concerns, but that's another thing. So yeah, I know it'll just be interesting.
And as more states open up, they might expand, where they're going, and that could be the reason why they are only announced 25 cities, just because they're not sure who's all completely.
And I know in MLW they're doing the old ECW arena in July. They're doing Dallas, I think, in September, and then they're doing Chicago in November.
Okay.
Or the 3 cities that they announced for their stuff. So
we know Double or Nothing is in Jacksonville because that's coming right around the corner now. But it'll be interesting to see if All Out will be in Chicago or what they do with that in September.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, back into the wrestling portion of it. Tuesday nights NXT. Jeremy Borash is phenomenal at his job. That vignette, that package put together for Cross and Balor too, that has like the HBO 24/7 feel, the UFC whatever, I forget the name of their special that they used to run back in the day on Spike whenever they had big pay-per-views. Like that's exactly the feel and tone that I got from that package on Tuesday night. It was really done well and served its purpose and got me invested in seeing them two go again. I don't know if you guys felt the same way or not, but
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it's about 4.5 minutes long. And
it was good. I like the interviews that they did with everybody, like everybody around the company, just not in NXT.
Hey, Paul Heyman out there floating. The tribal chief has his eye on this match. Like not that they're going to tease, Balor or Cross versus Reigns, but that was a nice subtle touch to pique people's interest. And it's like, okay, so yeah, this is a big fight feel. If you got Heyman talking about, the matchup and Reigns keeping his eye on to see who wins and who loses.
Could that be a tease? Maybe Baylor goes back to SmackDown.
We don't know what he's going to be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, this NXT run for him was way longer than what any of them originally planned. So,
Sure.
no idea, but that was done really. That was really good. Zoe Stark and Toni Storm was a good matchup on Tuesday night. I enjoyed that match.
I thought I finished her a couple times.
Yo, that move was, whew, man. I don't know. I don't know
what you make that transition.
I don't know what you want to. I don't know what you want to call it. Initially, I was going to say I had the Storm, but I'm like, no, I can't use that. That's James Storm's. So I don't know what you want to call that. But yeah, that was brutal looking, and it served its purpose. It was something that she pulled out that has never been done before to finish a match, and it was okay. Yeah, Stark, you're good, but you're not on my level yet. I got stuff you haven't seen yet, and that was good. She needs to be up in the main title picture. Like Toni Storm's too talented of a performer not to be in the title picture. So, what else you guys like from Tuesday night?
Alice versus Grimes was decent. Hit Row. I like the big dude. I like his moves. A little more work, but I like his moves. Top dollar.
Oh, hey, I like the presentation of Hit Row. I do. It's different.
Let people talk though, not all of them.
they talk too damn much.
Yeah. Let Brandy and Swerve talk.
And a small dude with his overalls on. He reminds me of Enzo too much. So that's already a negative on my side.
Tahuti Miles.
No, I enjoy their presentation so far. I want to see how it goes. I think Jay, like you said, I think AJ from the A&E, Hidden Treasures, who is top dollar. I think there's potential there, and I think he's not gonna give it to you all at once at what he can do in the ring, which I think is smart, and keep him in doses. Mm-hmm. But I think he's somebody that may turn into a player down the road. Don't know how green he actually is, but you could tell. And they hinted at him playing in the NFL and that. So like he's an athletic big man. But I liked what I saw from him so far in that first match.
And then what is it? We had Gargano and you had the cage match, Gargano and Reed. I don't know why I want to see the belt stay on Johnny, but that was a good match.
I mean,
Reed does deserve it. Not sold on him, but he's still.
Yeah, I don't.
Ring.
As long as Swerve's the next one to take it off, I'm okay.
Swerve hinted at that too.
As long as he's the next one.
Yeah.
So
I think the way got to the point where it doesn't matter if they have belts or not. They're just firing on their cylinders, so they don't need the belts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep.
And then they're putting Dakota and Raquel back in the tag. I wonder if that's going to start something with her and Raquel or
it has to be that. Like,
because there's no point for her to be back in the tag.
Yeah.
Especially if you're champ.
Yeah.
I saw people upset about Frankie Monet. They're like, she already debuted. Why is she having another debut? And it's like, it's her in-ring debut, dumbasses.
Yeah, she didn't fight yet.
Yeah, she hasn't fought yet. Like,
all them smart marks.
Before we jump over to AEW, I did Miz in the zombie match. He suffered a torn ACL, so don't know how long he's going to be out for. But I
saw that. Injured. The way they ended it, I'm wondering if maybe he had it before, and this was their way of writing him off.
Well, yeah, I saw some things where he wrestled the match with it, and then I saw other things that had happened during the match, but he finished the match, and people were giving him, props for that. So, one way or another, still he has a torn ACL, so he'll be out, at least 6 to 9 months before he's back. We'll see, depending on how bad the tear was.
Yeah.
But all right, anything else from NXT Tuesday night? we're getting the payoff between Grimes and Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
The $1 million challenge next week.
That's what it is.
Does the belt return?
I don't know.
Please no. Please. That belt is equivalent to the FTW title.
I was gonna say, you don't want to see Grimes with the $1 million belt.
No. Virgil had that belt.
I need Virgil to make an appearance. I need Rankin Zone Virgil
Don't
to show up on NXT next week.
You talked about it. It's coming.
What's his name? Sweet Velvet? Velvet Johnson or something?
I was trying to think of what his name is. I can't remember what they use on AEW.
Don't bring him in there, man. I wouldn't mind if he managed if he managed Grimes temporarily.
No, that's a bad look.
Virgil or Ted?
Huh?
I will say one feud, or I hope it's not just a one-off. I hope it does turn into a feud that I'm looking forward to is Pete Dunne and Bobby Fish.
I want to see the in ring. I don't want
to I think they're going to be those are going to be hard hitting matchups.
As long as
for takeover.
As long as Bobby Fish don't talk, we're all good. All those guys from Undisputed Era, minus Cole, cannot talk. Do all your in-ring stuff. Don't talk.
Yeah,
ever.
All right, let's jump over to Wednesday night. If nobody else got anything,
before we jump over to Wednesday, does anybody do we want to discuss anything about the releases from NXT this week?
No.
Anybody that you saw on there that you didn't like, or
the only thing that it showed me was that it took I don't even know the wording to say, but it took a lot for them to release Drake words. So just leave it at that. Some said he should have been fired a long time ago. Same with Velveteen Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been fired a long time ago. So, those two, if I never see those two.
Should I just throw those away?
Yeah.
Everybody want the man fired, but they want to see him in AEW.
Who wants to see him in AEW? I don't want to see him in AEW.
I seen people in the comments section.
I mean,
I don't need to see either one of those two in professional wrestling again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just leave it at that. If you can do your own search and get on the intraweb and look up the reasons as to why.
Yeah.
But those two I can do without in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that I was kind of surprised about, and it wasn't even either of the two of them. I didn't write down her name, but the girl that was in the Mae Young Classic, they released her.
Brandy Lauren?
No, she was one of the Indian wrestlers.
Oh, Davida.
And I was kind of surprised because I thought whenever I'd watched her, she wasn't too bad. I thought but maybe she just wasn't progressing enough for them.
I know she was when they did that special, she was injured.
No, okay.
So I'm not sure how long if that played a role in anything.
All right, so Dynamite. Let's get into it. Wednesday night. Thoughts, feelings. Where you want to start at?
From the beginning, I guess.
I'll throw something out there.
Yeah.
Bully Ray tweeted out, "A Go-Go has a fuck ton of charisma, and Austin Gunn sells better than majority of the AEW roster."
I was just telling Jason over the week that Gunn, he's like the new Dolph Ziggler. He just sells everything. I mean, he's wonderful. But for me, I know A Go-Go is very, very green, but you got to show me a little bit more than 3 punches.
But that's the whole point of his gimmick right now. He don't need to show you more.
But they're going to have to show more for Double or Nothing. So it's like
I get
for
that.
The longevity of it, for how long that segment was this week, they could have done a little bit more. Didn't have to do a lot more, just a little bit more. Tease something else that he could do other than 3 punches.
I like exactly what they did. I didn't think that they needed to do anything different on Wednesday.
It just have to be more because it started to remind me of Baron Corbin with his ended days when he was down NXT. One hit and it's over with.
Yeah, but that went on for like 6 months. You're talking one match here. Like,
well, his ended days is still protected,
right?
Nobody's ever kicked out of it.
And he added a different twist on it this week. He did the pop-up punch to end the match. It wasn't just He's a professional boxer, and he's hitting you with straight liver shots. Like,
yes, I know straight liver shots, but he just threw him up and threw a punch.
We won't count the moveset like a big man match.
It was like a popular power bomb is the same as a power bomb on your feet. It's the same as a Batista bomb. A punch is a punch is a punch, no matter what it is. I could be on one knee and punch you. It's still a punch.
He said 2 points is 2 points is 2 points.
It is.
Now.
Okay, wait. You're saying a punch is a punch. So a Go-Go's punch can't get over the same way that the Von Erich claw got over?
It's over already. Everybody he punched him with knocked him out. It's already over. So I didn't see nobody kick out or anything, but
so that's the point of the, that's the point of the match. Like, he doesn't need to show you more. He's ending matches by knocking dudes out.
So we're gonna spend the whole match avoiding a punch.
Again, a Ronda Rousey type thing. Watch the armbar. Watch the armbar. Just watch the armbar and you'll be fine.
Cody can be dancing like Mayweather.
Show me an Irish whip. Show me a suplex. Show me a schoolboy.
I think you'll get more of that with the matchup against Cody. But as far as what they were supposed to do on Wednesday night, I think they hit all the points that match was supposed to do. And Austin Gunn did his job perfectly. He sold everything the way that he was supposed to sell it, to make it even that much more devastating of a move.
Show me more. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, there's not a fan there.
And then I am a believer in him because he's young talent. I like young talent better than old talent. But
do you think Bully Ray's statement about him about a Go-Go having a ton of charisma, like how when you see Ricky Starks, you just instantly notice the charisma.
Yeah.
Do you think that portion of him is there, right? Like he's got that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Can he talk?
A Go-Go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna like him because he has an accent, so
you're not gonna like it anyway because it's AEW. So
no, I would agree. I think he has a ton of charisma. I think he has potential. Just we have to see if everything else can connect with him to complete that. Yeah, he has a couple things right now. Does he have everything else to connect all of it to be a star?
And we'll save this for next weekend's AEW Double or Nothing prediction show, because I don't want to give my predictions away, but I think they're on the right track with like I said, he should have been the star coming out of this whole Cody and Factory feud. It wasn't Cody and QT. That was what started it, but the whole point of this was to build up a Go-Go to be a star at the end. At least that's what I'm thinking that the whole point of this was. So, so far they're on the track with the Go-Go. I haven't been too attached to Cody's part of this. The role that he's played so far. I know people still are talking about the promo, and they talked about it on Wednesday night again, but we'll see. I think you have to have a stipulation. It has to be like a flag match or something. At Double or Nothing. It has to be. You can't just have them have a straight match. It just doesn't.
Flags every week. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Cody came out with the flag this week.
Yeah.
So it's like.
When the Go-Go had the flag, that Cody was flipping out big time. So, hate to say it, but it might go towards a flag match.
I don't need that, but it could.
Slaughter versus Sheik.
It's not even that. Two countries that aren't even feuding against each other.
I saw some other stuff from the show. What'd you think of Britt Baker, Sheeta, and Reba, not Rebel?
I was okay with it.
That was rough.
You said it was rough?
Rough watch.
I was shocked that Sheeta lost.
Anything with Britt right now, I'm invested in.
So Bailey had some interesting stuff about Britt this week. She came out and said, "I love Britt. She's awesome, and everything she's doing is really cool. So I can't even hate on her. There's no hard feelings. There's no disrespect, and I only want the best for her." Is that little? Does that tease anything for you as far as the forbidden door opening up, Jason, where active WWE talents are commentating on active wrestlers and other promotions right now?
They always been. No,
they have not.
Yeah,
on Twitter, yeah, they talk.
I've seen them talking about watching AEW.
Remember with JR saying the WWE title and Drew talked about it?
No, I don't remember that, but
yeah, it's not uncommon for them to talk about one another on Twitter.
I remember what you was talking about, Dawn. Yeah, when actually they called the title wrong.
When he called the title wrong, and then Drew said, "What is this?" And then they had the Omega pictures.
Drew tweeted back. Yeah.
We said this before. We've been saying it. Britt has to go over at Double or Nothing and end the year-long title reign of Sheeta. I thought the Hangman Page stuff was really good. I enjoyed him coming out and telling Ricky Starks, hold my beer. And then Starks finishing it off. Like, how great was that?
I actually missed him finishing it off. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, you didn't catch it? Yeah, Starks finished it off.
They were just at the top just drinking it.
Yeah. Standing there drinking it. I think him and Brian Cage have potential to have a hell of a sleeper match on Double or Nothing. Yeah. I do. Hangman is one of my favorites. I really thought that they were going to play like the long burn with him and have him against Omega eventually, which they still may do. I just like the rankings. Jay, here's your favorite thing: rankings, right? Hangman loses one match and falls out of the top 5 rankings. And I'm like, wait a second. If Alabama's number 1 in the country and they lose, they don't fall out of the top 5.
Yeah, they dropped the 4. They dropped the 2.
Sometimes they drop the 2. Like, or like depending on what else happens, they may even stay at 1. Like
they jump in the standings, dude.
They had him drop out of the top 5, and it's like, why is he out of the top 5? Because he lost one match. It made no sense.
No.
But
if he if we're gonna start his building back up, does that build him up to All Out? You see them doing that then? Or is that too soon?
No, I want to see him and Omega at All Out. I don't know how long you go with Omega with this belt collector gimmick, and it was announced and confirmed this week that he will face Andrade for the AAA title at Triplemania in August. So that match has been confirmed and is on the books for there. So
what is that? Is that August 13th or 14th?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So you've got a couple weeks before All Out with that.
Yeah,
so that'll be interesting to see if he drops the title, or because if he drops that title, then it doesn't make sense for him to keep every title. Then
yeah, so like he's either going to keep them or he's going to drop them all. So I don't know what you want to do with it there. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the backstage segment with him and Orange Cassidy this week and Callis that they taped, in the trainer's room supposedly after Dynamite last week. I thought that was good. That was better use of Kenny compared to how he's been used so far.
True. I'll agree with that.
And Callis is rumored that he is on the verge of becoming a full-time AEW talent. He's wind down his duties with Impact. It's just him running out the rest of his contract, so he's no longer, a vice president over there with the Moore. He's not involved in creative meetings no more. He's slowly cut back on his duties throughout the process over the past year. And once his contract's fully up, it's expected that he'll sign on with AEW full time. So.
I wouldn't mind if he went back into announcing, like with the new Rampage show coming on. I wouldn't mind if he was on the announce booth for that.
So let's get into anything else from the show before we move to AEW's announcement this week.
I'll say that it felt like more like a go home show this week than possibly what next week could.
There was a lot. There was a lot of stuff that was either for matches that got announced on Wednesday night for Double or Nothing, or like continuing to build towards the matches that were previously announced. Yeah. So
and with the show this upcoming week being at 10 p.m., maybe they did make that the go home show because they don't know what the audience will be for that one. But that's the feel I got out of it.
Deeb and Red Velvet was great. Serena Deeb to me is still the best in-ring wrestler in AEW. That was a good ass match.
I thought that was going to be match of the night whenever they announced it. It absolutely was. Red Velvet is very good.
Yeah.
Very good. You saw what she was able to do. She didn't look out of place. She didn't look overwhelmed. You know, she was in there and did her thing, went toe to toe. Completely agree with you, Jay. Serena Deeb, she's, you know, to me, she's like the AJ Styles of the women. She's not going to have a bad match with anybody you put her in there with. And just the subtle little things that she does, like at the beginning of the match where she took her shirt off and threw it at her. And it's like such a veteran, you know, champion type move that you do to get an advantage straight out the gates. You thought that match was going to be over early. She hit her with that, I forget what it was, but went for that pin right away. And I'm like, are they really about to squash Red Velvet? Like, but it worked. And like, telling in her matches is great. Her moveset is fantastic. Everything she does looks real.
And then had to slap on that submission twice, which built up Velvet a little bit.
Absolutely. Yep. No, that was well done. That was kudos across the board on that match.
A lot of wrestlers on Wednesday night, you know, even talent that's not even in AEW were giving her kudos for that match. How talented she is. They were all talking about what a great hire she is and what she's doing for that belt.
Yeah. We got the confirmation for another stadium stampede. You know, don't know what to expect from it. Obviously, it'll be cinematic again. You know, like last
year was the fun event. The fun match.
This year's going to be more. Yeah, absolutely. And then I will say, this will get Donald a little irate over there. I thought Miro had the best promo of the night.
No.
I thought I was watching like an award show. You want to thank Jesus Christ?
I thought he had the best promo. I thought he had the best promo of the night. I thought he had the best line of the night.
No.
You say everybody.
Well, then again, every promo was just screaming, so they were all trash.
You say everybody dies, and I insist that you be the first. That's a great line. It's a great line.
Yeah, that's his gimmick. It is. Destroy everybody.
You got that old man holding you back, and better believe I'll slap him. And he like, I did. I'm telling you, give me the you know, the blood sport and kickboxer version of Miro with Tongpo and Kung Lee, like I said last week, and let him go out there. And that match is going to be brutal. I think them two are going to beat the shit out of each other at Double or Nothing.
So,
Jason, what you said that Miro got to get rid of the best man stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Still. Look, we're talking AEW, and I don't want to, so I'm going to just slide one out here.
All right, let's go back to the zombies shit.
But so besides the Dynamite, right? The announcement, the big stuff with AEW this week, the announcement was that Dynamite will move to TBS starting in January of 22. New show Rampage, AEW Rampage is a new 1 hour show that will debut Friday, August 13th at 10 p.m. And then AEW will have 4 quarterly specials on TNT.
Okay.
So
I think Clash of Champions.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Clash of the Champions.
So, and this is what I needed clarification on. Rampage I know it debuts Friday at 10 p.m. on TNT starting August 13th, but is that going to stay Friday nights on TNT?
No, that's going to move to TBS as well.
That's moving to TBS as well.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they
All
did
right.
say that both shows will move to TBS.
Okay, so
It's only the quarterly specials that will stay on TNT.
got you. That's fine. So here you go. So you have Dark Elevation Monday, Dark Tuesday, Dynamite Wednesday, Rampage Fridays.
Yeah.
Is that too much AEW?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, granted, not all of it, not all of it's on TV. So you just, if you don't watch YouTube and the Elevation and Dark on YouTube, then you're only going to have Rampage and Dynamite, which that's no different than having Raw and SmackDown. And it's 3 hours total, not 5 hours. So you're almost at half of what WWE puts out a week.
You forgot a comment.
We can double back and touch on that matchup if you want. But yeah, so I think.
Did they say the reason why they're leaving TNT for TBS?
But with all the hockey coming on,
Okay.
going to be doing hockey with NBA and other stuff. They just felt that it was instead of constantly moving AEW, they thought it was easier just to put it on TBS and keep the times.
Okay.
They gave them money to move over to TBS, and they did it with the preference or the preface of we're bringing wrestling back to TBS like it was back in the
old
day.
days. Yeah.
6:05 Saturday night on TBS. Yeah, so now TBS.
Kind of what they did with TNT. Wrestling over TNT.
TBS will now be the home of wrestling again.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with the move. There's nothing on TBS other than comedy stuff reruns all the time. So
yeah, I don't mind the move. The announcement's made with more than enough time to precondition your audience to make sure you move over. Starting 2022, move over to TBS. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a hard switch from from Wednesday night to Tuesday night like NXT did, even though it stayed on the same channel. But no, I think it'll be fine for them. I don't think it'll hurt them at all. And it gives them a flagship station that they can hold their and their flag to. Yeah. Now I don't know. Is TBS shown as in as many homes as TNT is?
Yeah. Whenever you have when you have one, you have the other one just for their packages. Because I think it's TNT, TBS, and True TV might be all packaged together.
So the only thing that I can see that messes them up, and it may not be so much a Wednesday night thing, but the NCAA tournament, the first 2 days, Thursday and Friday, those games are shown on TNT, TBS, True TV, and CBS. So that the Rampage that Friday, that first day of the tournament, that may have to move. But other than that, I don't see anything getting in their way as far as programming, having them to move on TBS, which is smart. Like you said, between basketball and hockey.
It's too much,
It's too much to jump around. You don't want to do that each week. So why not just move it over a station and have it be solidified?
Yeah. The only and I kind of brought this up a little bit in the intro. The only thing I was surprised was that they didn't actually do something with HBO Max and AEW on this, or something with streaming.
Yeah, you think because streaming is the way of the future. It seems like going there. So why not have something on HBO Max for people to cling to, especially since it's all Warner Brothers and everything?
That's a good point, Jason. I don't know what their MLB schedule is going to be like for the next season. So
you know what? I forgot all about that because they do playoff games on there. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but especially because I don't get Bleacher Report, so I don't get all that AEW stuff. So, but I get HBO Max, so. You think you could throw it on there?
You don't pay for Bleacher Report. You just pay for the stuff that's
on it.
Like if you want to pay for the pay-per-view or whatever. So I can just go on Bleacher Report Live's app and watch, or on their website and watch an episode of AEW Dynamite. But it's not user friendly.
Yeah.
You have to really search for stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like the way the network was. You click on AEW Dynamite and here's all the episodes, and you just click on whichever one you want.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to see them do something with like HBO Max or something to have a better library for people to find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see someone post on Twitter this week. They said this was even before the AEW announcement really moving. This was actually more whenever the HBO Max Discovery Plus merger was discussed. Do you think AEW as a company now should maybe start acquiring, like maybe go after some companies like WWE did in the early 2000s to build up their library? So an HBO Max thing would be more warranted.
Who are you going to
buy? Yeah.
Acquire that has a library?
Easily Impact.
No, I don't. Impact's not going to give that up. Anthem's, I mean, they're not. They have the Impact. They have the Impact Plus, like
they do, but it's not there. It's not where it should be. They've talked that they're open for discussions.
ROH to me would be the only one with the.
It could be another good one.
I just don't. There's no point in doing that though. Like you're
They're still new. Yeah, they're still so new.
Don't
build up your library first.
Don't.
It's going to take time for their library to grow.
Don't run before you can walk. Don't walk before you can crawl. Like to me, don't get so far out in front of yourself that you can't keep up, and it just ends up imploding because, again, with all this programming that they have on now, starting next year, you're talking 4 days out of the week, not counting a pay-per-view. Like that's a lot of programming.
It is,
and you have to. To me, they still need to. If you're going to keep YouTube, which is fine, depending on how many viewers you get, and you can use Dark and Elevation as your like PC for WWE, where you can get people on TV time, they can have matches, they can flush out character work, all that stuff. That's fine. But Dynamite and Rampage, they need to be solid 3-hour programming and have stars up and down the card.
Yeah, and that's the way Tony Khan, he was on Busted Open this week, and that's the way he kind of described it too. Dynamite is the show. Rampage will be the show to support that. YouTube stuff will be to develop new talent,
which is fine. Then don't have your, unless you're doing squash matches and that, don't have your Elevation and your Dark people up on Dynamite unless they're going to be up on the card and stay, because their roster, it's a little heavy, and they need to make some cuts.
Yeah.
So I think you need to trim that down.
No, I don't know if they have all these people, like, because look how long it took them to sign Red Velvet. So I don't know how many people they actually have signed to contracts, or they just bring all these people in.
You're still paying people, per spot or per performance, and you don't know what that is, payout wise, but. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just it's a lot. So,
because I don't watch Dark or Elevation, but when I look at the card and all that stuff, I'm be like, man, who are these people? Because there's like so many. Mm-hmm.
Like they had just brought in 4 from IWC, so that was 4 times that was down there for a few weeks. So, yeah.
So we'll see. Impact this week. I saw that. Obviously Moose won the #1 contendership, so he will be challenging Kenny Omega at the next show that they have in June, which is, I believe,
Against All
Odds. It was rumored, Wrestling Observer put out that he re-signed with Impact. Moose came out yesterday himself and tweeted out that those rumors are false. He has not re-signed with Impact yet. So it's very interesting to see him get the title shots because his contract is up in June. Don't know when in June. It could be the end of the month. You know what I mean? So where he's still under contract and can wrestle the match. I like them two had a hell of a back and forth on Thursday night. That was really good with Moose and Omega. Very good, very, very good promos by both. Omega was way more serious. And Moose, I thought Moose held his own on Thursday night. whether you like Moose or not. I know you guys aren't the biggest Moose fans.
No, I'm not a fan, but right now, I think he's the only contender for Kenny in Impact. And
but
I'm not saying that's a good thing, but
he's delivered in the ring whenever he's had big opportunities. I mean, him and Swan was a hell of a match to unify the TNA and the Impact title. Like he did really well in the 6-man that they had at the first pay-per-view whenever he filled in because what's his face got hurt. So
I mean, I'll give him credit. He is far and above better now than he was in Ring of Honor. But just for me, he's not my cup of tea. But
Sammy Callahan
Impact has nobody.
Yeah, Callahan came out and made the save on Moose's behalf. And he did it with the with the adage of I'm not here to help you. I'm tired of seeing these three run over people in Impact. So he kind of flying the Impact banner there with that. New tag team champions, FinJuice, lose the belts to Violent by Design in what was a good match. Interested to see that FinJuice dropped them to Violent by Design instead of the Good Brothers, but there's that. So it looks like FinJuice's run in Impact is up again. They'll be heading back over to New Japan. The announcement was made next week on Impact. Kojima be making his way to Impact. He's making his Impact debut. Don't know who he's going to face. I would love to see him and Josh Alexander go at it.
Yeah, that could be a good match.
So let them two battle it out.
Good.
Yeah, let them battle him out for the X Division title.
I think I saw the next IWC event here is going to be for the X Division Championship. That'll be the main event. Alexander versus, I think it's Slater. The rest that was just down AEW. So Alexander's, I was worried whenever they broke up the North, and he's coming into his own for sure.
No, I thought that he was going to be, elevated up the card now and given a true shot. And it is the X Division, but as many would say, the X Division is Impact Wrestling. So
yeah, if he sticks around there for a bit, he'll be champion within the next couple of years.
Yeah, Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering put on a hell of a match. I enjoyed that match on Thursday night. So yeah, I mean, Impact is still putting out good work. They have a limited roster, but what I will say with their creative, what they do with that limited roster is unlike WWE, they keep matchups fresh. They find different and creative ways to have the wrestlers interact with each other, whether it's multi-man matches, 6-mans, moving people in and out, taking people off the show for a couple of weeks. Like they do a really good job, even though their roster is on the smaller side, of keeping matchups fresh and weaving people in and out over the course of time. So that kudos to them. I enjoyed the show on Thursday night.
And you had brought up about Don Callis possibly being done with Impact, and one of the things that also came out this week was that Kenny Omega and Don Callis didn't stick around for all the tapings recently.
No, so they did their bits and left.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's gonna be everything, until the next pay-per-view or the next taping, or if
I don't know.
Focused on so much.
Yeah, they only did what they needed to shoot for each of them, and then they left the tapings. They didn't stick around for all of that. So take that what you will, but I mean, I don't, if they're done doing what they need to do as far as tapings go, I don't know why they need to stick around.
No.
So, and then the Impact announced this week that they had they announced an agreement with UTV in Iraq, launching the promotion's popular Impact flagship series, and the in-depth retrospective Impact in 60 will be on the platform. So Impact is, over the course of the last couple of weeks, they've made several announcements as far as where you'll be able to watch Impact at and what it will be on. In Iraq, with the stuff with PlayStation, Samsung TV. So like they're making some moves here to get more eyes on the product.
I mean, back in the day, like around Aces and Eights time frame, they were going to England and places like that because
I remember that.
they were doing better over there than they were here, and they were, not only were they doing better over there, they were beating WWE a lot of times in ratings.
Yeah,
In that market, and so Impact's always had a great following, across the ocean. But hey, it doesn't hurt to keep building up that audience.
Yep, absolutely. And then MLW this week, they had their first MLW draft. I enjoyed what they did with it. Not saying that it's going to be one pick a week, but keeping it to 8 to 10 minute mark. Gave some news and notes, made the draft pick, and the first draft pick was Davey Richards. So he will be joining MLW. I think that's a really good signing. Don't know if he'll end up shitting on himself like he has in other promotions.
Yeah.
But no, if his head's on straight and he he's able to perform like he has in the past, I think that's a really good signing for MLW.
It definitely fits their style.
Absolutely fits their style, 100%. Yeah. So
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Away enough. So I'm hoping that he does have his head on right now.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much else. I know there's a bunch of stuff probably we forgot and didn't get into and some other stuff we stayed too long on. But
I think it's time to drink.
Yeah, I would.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, this week's Drink of the Week segment is brought to you by co-hosts who leave the show early because they don't want to talk about what we're talking about. Actually,
this week's beer.
Actually, in Jay's defense, he left to go watch his nephew play t-ball, so that we won't hold that against him at all for going to see little man's game. So hopefully they pull out a W today. I don't even know if they keep scoring t-ball nowadays. Hey, who knows?
They used to.
Not, but they used
I remember
to.
when I played, they used to. Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah.
now with politics and parents and coaches. Who knows?
So this week's Drink of the Week is Donald's pick here by the Ommegang Brewery from Cooktown, New York. It is the Three Philosophers double chocolate. The label looks interesting. A collaboration with Taza Chocolate. So I've never heard of Taza Chocolate before.
I never did either.
It is a 9.7% alcohol by volume. This is great. Like, I'm gonna go do yard work after this. This is fantastic. So this is interesting. On the label itself, on the back, it says serve at 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. I've never seen that on a beer before, the temperature that it should be served at.
Mm-mm.
I wonder how big of a factor that makes on the taste of it if you don't serve it at that temperature.
Yeah, true.
That's a valid point. Ommegang does have a regular Three Philosophers. And this is just like the double chocolate version of it. So the regular Three Philosophers is very good.
I've never had it before. They were established in 1997. So let's give the double chocolate here a whirl and a spin and see what we think. So like I said, nice label. Good for you there.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby, you
got what I need.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I wasn't sure if I was going to like this as much as I do because of it, like I've had double chocolate stouts before and that, and some of them have been, at least the ones that I've tried, they've been very hit or miss. It's either really good or it's just terrible.
There's one, I think it's Blockhouse Brewing. They have like a double chocolate stout.
That one's very good.
It's very good. It's very sweet. If you don't like sweet, it's not the beer for you, but it is very good. Yeah, I like this because not a traditional stout, not like a brown ale or anything. It's just an ale with the double chocolate flavor. I think this is much better than what Yingling put out for the Hershey's Porter.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
I didn't mind the Hershey's Porter that Yingling put out. Like I said, I would drink maybe one of those and that would be it. I would have a couple of these, even though they're not, 9.7, almost 10% alcohol. These are really good, and it goes down smooth and easy. Like
it is not heavy whatsoever.
No, which I'm very surprised that it's.
I like carbonation, so this has good carbonation in it as well. So it's good.
I like the taste of it a lot. Very smooth, just like you said. You can definitely taste the chocolate. I will give this a 9.5 out of 5.
9.5 out of 5?
Wow.
They tell you I'm already hit already. 4.5 out of 5.
Way off the scale.
I think that's the winning we've had on the drink of the week segment. And of course, it comes from Donald, who picked his own beer himself. So,
and I never had this before. A friend told me about it. That's all I always know.
Is that your real rating for it? 9.5?
Yeah, 4.5.
Okay.
4.5.
I'll agree with that. I'll go 4.5 on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not hating on this anyway. I'm going to go solid 4. I think it's a good beer.
Mm-hmm. I could drink a couple of days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If Jason's listening out there, what you think of it?
This is.
He's drinking this beer while he's watching the T-ball game right now.
That's enjoyable. Those will get you in trouble too. Like I said,
yes, they will.
I'm not burying a 6-pack of those, but 2 or 3 of those, and you'll be.
Oh, look who's back!
You'll be crispy.
How's the Pepsi?
A 2.
You got it in your bottle.
This dude did a run-in with a bottle of Pepsi.
No, I think he's drinking it from the bottle.
No, he's not. If you're at a T-ball game drinking a double chocolate 9.7 beer out of a Pepsi bottle,
I'm not in a T-ball game. I'm near a T-ball game. Now I'm about to go in a T-ball game.
Wait. So that was really the beer? That wasn't Pepsi?
Yeah.
Well,
you're
done,
unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
You're unbelievable.
Man, you pulling off high school stuff. You pulling off like St. Patrick's Day parade stuff.
Wow. That's the first ever. That's the first ever, folks, on the Dumb Marks Drink of the Week.
I tried to get the Turner's carton real quick, but I'd have to drink the Turner's.
Cut him off. Bury him. Don't let him back in. Drop him.
Yeah, you're
Drop
done.
him. Drop him. He's done. Drop him. He's not even on the show.
Steve's the one that freezes. Dude, that was the perfect.
You froze there for a second.
Oh.
I froze?
No, not you. Steve froze.
Yelling at you and he froze.
Yeah, I froze. All right, get him off the show. That's enough.
Anything else on this?
No, I'm good. This is a solid recommendation. If you see this out, by all means, pick this up. You won't be disappointed.
Send us home.
All right. Well, with that, Jason drinking at a T-ball game, we ask that you raise your Pepsi bottles, your brown paper bags, your cans, shot glasses, solo cups, brown paper bags, and to good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the seas. The best ships are friendships, and friends will always be. Salute. I'll tell you what, after drinking that beer, the only way you're hitting a baseball is off of a tee. So that's for damn sure.
That's what we need, the Marks T-ball.
A lot of stuff this week in sports. a lot of things that I saw here.
Well, before we go with that, I mean, should Jason give us a live update on what's going on in this game?
Yeah, this week in sports, we need play-by-play of the T-ball game.
Oh, you don't want that.
Well, they can't possibly be any worse than the Pirates last night, as Donald's name for the show goes, 20-1.
Let's talk about that ass whooping, boy.
First time ever in a Major League Baseball game, a team hit 7 home runs with 2 grand slams.
They were serving a bat in practice last night.
Meatballs.
I'd love to be part of history.
Serving meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
Straight meatballs.
Yep.
It was like batting practice for the Braves last night. Cut him off. Cut him off.
Oh, my bad.
All of that.
Cut him off.
Sorry. I was helping out real quick.
Oh, yeah, but again, the Pirates suck like always. But y'all fans still believe, so keep believing. Keep believing.
No.
Keep going down with that burning ship, please.
20-1. That's
I can't support that at all.
That's
That's what people do. They love it. When's fireworks night? You'll be there. When they go full capacity, July 1st.
I was just wondering when they're going full capacity.
Yeah,
So,
July 1st.
people will go.
Oh, they're
Absolutely,
going.
They're gonna go.
Gotta have Florida night.
Something to do.
Yeah, man, one of us went on last Sunday. How was that experience?
They lost.
No shit.
I mean, it was good to have the space around you, social distancing. That was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you fell right into that Ponzi scheme, boy. Anyways, let's stop talking about losers.
You want to talk about the Pens then? They're winning.
Before we hop over to the Pens, just baseball wise, even though the Pirates are terrible, did anybody see Juan Soto hit a home run off of one knee this week?
No.
So I'm watching the clip, right? And Juan Soto is like, I want to say he's like 22 or 23 years old, right? Just dude's an absolute beast. I'm watching the clip and I'm like, why are they showing a clip of him striking? Like, he missed the pitch that bad that he fell on one knee. Like, that would be embarrassing. Like, you might want to not like come out of your house for a week after that. And then I replayed the clip back and I'm like, wait a second, he actually hit that ball. And then I played it back the third time and I'm like, there's no way he hit a home run off of that pitch. And he smacked his pitch, one knee, dude. Like, it was one of the most impressive things I've seen.
Unreal. Unreal. And then it's still the year of the pitchers. There was 2 more no-hitters last week.
Yeah, so much for that heavy ball that they had the last couple of years in baseball, right? All those home runs. You have 8 no-hitters, right? 8 no-hitters now?
6.
I thought I saw the number was up to 8.
Yeah, it's up 6 before June. And they said it's the second month in MLB history with 4 no-hitters. And the first time since June 90 that no-hitters were thrown one day apart from each other.
Month ain't over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet. And they said they are 6 no-hitter, 2 no-hitters shy of the MLB record for the year.
That's coming soon.
And it's not even June. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think an analyst said that the young guys coming up, it's just home run or strike out. Like, they're just swinging for the fences. Nobody's control hitting or anything. It's just go big or go home.
On the bright side of baseball in Pittsburgh, there's a new mural of legendary baseball from Josh Gibson going up in Homestead. I saw that this week.
Yeah.
So part of the Homestead Grays, one of the all-time greatest home run hitters of any era. And some would say the numbers that he had surpassed Babe Ruth's total and Barry Bonds' total and that. But definitely one of the legends to ever step on the field and play a game. So
where are they putting that
I didn't see with the. I know it's in Homestead here locally, but I'm not sure exactly where at in Homestead.
Can't wait
trying
to
to find
see
it.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So
Is it finished, or I seen them starting it? Is it finished?
No, it's not finished yet. They were putting it out. It may be finished now, but I know whenever the news article came out, they were just starting it. So I don't know how long that would take to do. But
I just drove down Nathan Avenue the other day and I didn't notice anything, but I really wasn't looking either. So
yeah,
maybe pay attention for it next time.
Yeah. Moving on to football. Before we get in, we'll save hockey for last for the bright spot. But so Troy Polamalu selected Dick LeBeau to announce him into the National Football League Hall of Fame.
Very fitting.
I did see something. So Dick LeBeau going to announce in Troy Polamalu. Hines Ward is going to announce in Alan Faneca, and Art Rooney II is going to announce in Bill Cowher. So that weekend for the Hall of Fame, and we're playing in the Hall of Fame game this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a Steeler fan, good luck trying to get a ticket to that this year.
Yeah,
because that is going to be Canton will be black and gold for a week before and a week after.
did they say who Donnie Shell's being announced by?
Did not see Donnie Shells. No.
Yeah,
didn't, so.
Yeah, that's all black and gold up there. That week.
All black and gold. Speaking of more black and gold players, James Harrison makes the NFL's all-time undrafted team. So that announcement came out today. Some of these players that are on this team that went undrafted are freaking insane. Like,
didn't Terrell Davis go undrafted? Or no,
he was like a 6th-round pick, I think.
Okay.
Like John Randall went undrafted. Former D tackle from the Vikings, like
his height,
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, his height.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. But the outside linebacker chosen opposite of Harrison was Ravens' Bart Scott. So there goes another beast of a player that was undrafted. Like some other notable undrafted free agents to make the list included quarterback Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, wide receiver Wes Welker, and then John Randall that I already spoke about. So, yeah, just a little interesting tidbit there. And Harrison, his story was just he was cut 3 times, on and has probably one of the most iconic plays in Super Bowl history.
Yep,
that pick 6 against Arizona. Reports came out, not reports, but I guess it was report that speculation or rumor to be is that Steven Nelson should re-sign with the Steelers. Steelers cut Nelson. They're listen, besides wide receiver and running back, they don't have any depth pretty much across the board when you look at position to position. They're still light on tackle. Interior offensive lineman is kind of okay. But there's not a whole lot of depth when you go across the board as far as talent goes and positions go. So, I mean, if you can get a deal done for the right price, I would be all for bringing Nelson back. I don't know how butthurt he is about the way that he got cut and got let go and not getting a bigger money deal offered to him at the time. And again, it all goes back to salary cap. Like next year, the Steelers they're projected to have the most cap room out of anybody in the league, like somewhere of around $72 million next year. So
I can bring a lot of players and re-sign a lot of people.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of that is going to go towards re-signing Minka and TJ to long-term deals.
Yeah.
But $72 million is a hell of a lot of money to play with. So,
yes,
we'll see what comes out and what they do with that. But
I'll say bring him back because you don't know what Lane's situation is too. His situation is up in the air.
Well, so one of the bright spots. Speaking of undrafted free agents, Shakur Brown, the cornerback from Michigan State, who was projected to go in the 3rd round, went undrafted and he signed with the Steelers. And everything that's been reported so far, now the rookie camp and everything else. Now, granted, it's just shorts and t-shirts, so we'll have to see when the pads get on. But a lot of people are projecting him to not only make the 53-man roster, but potentially fight for the battle of starting as that slot nickel corner. So, like, they do have, you know, a couple free agents that they signed that they have high hopes for and that. But I don't know. I think if you have somebody like Nelson who's out there and you can get the money to come back in and it's right, I don't see why you would not want to do that deal. You know what I mean? But again, I think it's more on him than it is the Steelers, given how it all went down and whether or not, like I said, he's super butthurt about the way that it went down and left. So there's that. I saw Jake Paul, who's running the fight game right now, whether you like it or not. But he actually signed with, I believe it was Showtime promotion there, signed a deal. So he's actually signed to a promotion. I don't know what that means for Triller and the Triller fights and what's going on with that. But we'll see how that all shakes out. But it's just it's very interesting to see somebody like him actually get a
boxing deal. Yeah,
boxing deal. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Last week, UFC 262, Charles Oliveira becomes the lightweight champion, knocking out Michael Chandler. And you want to talk about a complete flip of the coin as far as rounds go. Chandler dominated round one, surprised Oliveira, was able to finish the round, and it comes out, 15 seconds into round two, and he knocks Chandler out. Like,
hey, that's UFC. It only takes one.
Though.
Yep,
has not missed. Has not missed as far as delivering fights for them. So with that, NBA playoffs start today. The New York Knicks make the playoffs for the first time in, I don't know, since 2003, I think it was. 2003, 2004. They're letting 13 fans into Madison Square Garden for the game, so that place is going to be going bonkers.
It will. Oh, for sure.
Bonkers.
From what I know, they said if the Knicks do good, the NBA does good. I'm not sure because I don't follow the association. So
yeah, the Atlanta Hawks coach got fined $25,000 because he said his comments were taken out of context when he said calls will be going New York's way. So that's already. That's all you need to know about what the feel is from Atlanta in regards to this series. So,
game, like series didn't even start yet, and we already get it fined.
Oh, he's already getting fined for floating that out there. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, a hell of a slate. Today there's games. Tomorrow, I believe there's 4 or 5 games on tomorrow, all throughout the day. So I enjoy the NBA playoffs. I think the play-in tournament has been good. It's been exciting. The games have been great. I know Adam Silver came out and said he wants to turn it in something that's ongoing every year moving forward. Some of the players came out and voiced their dislike for it. I know LeBron was one of the bigger ones that spoke up against it and didn't see the point of it, but it added extra excitement before the playoffs got underway. Like we saw last night, Memphis and Golden State was a hell of a game. Went down to the wire, and then overtime with Memphis pulling it out. Golden State and LA was a great game. LeBron hit that deep three to have the Lakers go out.
Do you like the format? Because you watch it, so do you like it?
I didn't mind it. I just don't know if it's something that will be relevant moving forward. Like, I understand why they did it this year because you only played 72 games. You didn't play a full 82. Mm-hmm. It was something to add intrigue to see additional players or see additional teams get into the playoffs potentially, kind of using the play-in tournament that they did for the bubble last year whenever they went back into the bubble before the playoffs started, once they resumed their season, over the summer last year. So it was something different. It added excitement to it. If it's a change going forward, I think it's a change in the positive.
Okay.
Does it water it down to say, oh, like so many teams get into the playoffs? No, because you're not expanding the playoffs. It's still 8-8 from each conference. The stats from those games don't count towards regular season or playoff stats. It's literally just a play-in tournament, as they call it, to get into the playoffs.
Okay.
Does it put the 8 seed as a true disadvantage once they get in to, potentially win a series against the 1 seed? Yeah, it puts them even more at a disadvantage compared to the uphill battle that they already had facing a 1 seed. Like, how many times has an 8 seed beat a 1? Yeah. Not very many.
Yeah, rare.
Like back in the day, I remember when I still remember when the Denver Nuggets with Mutombo beat the Seattle Supersonics, and you had Mutombo laying on the court holding the ball. Now that was a 5-game series, so it was a little different, but still, like, it was rare that you saw a 7 or an 8 seed beat or 1 or 2. And I think it just kind of stacks the deck a little bit more if they have to play 2 games before the series even starts to then go up against the 1 seed. Like, not really doing any favors to the 8 seed that gets in, but it gets more eyes on the people as more teams a chance to get in the playoffs. So pros and cons to it, as always. It just depends on, are the players okay with the extra games that they're going to be playing, and how much money is involved with this playing tournament? Like, how big was the ratings for it? That's what I want to see. What were the numbers for these games, for these playing games? Because that'll tell you your answer right there, whether or not it's going to stick. If the ratings were high and the numbers were good and viewership was up, then yeah, it's something that's probably going to stick moving forward. Does it diminish the regular season a little bit? Absolutely, because 7 through 10 are playing in to get in, and it's like, will we play 82 games for if I finish 7th or 8th? Then it don't matter. Yeah. So,
but do you add in the fact that they had LeBron and Steph in this one as a factor?
You may like that was like the ultimate.
You're not getting those ratings again.
That was like the ultimate scenario, but I'd be interested to see what the ratings were for the other games as well, because they were all close, minus the, what was it? The Washington Pacers game was kind of a blowout. With Washington kind of beating the Pacers handily, but other than that, they were all pretty good games. Memphis and Charlotte, or not Memphis and Charlotte, whoever Charlotte played, Indiana and Charlotte was a blowout too. But I don't know, like, in a normal year, when LeBron's healthy and AD's healthy, like, the Lakers are going to be in that 7th, 8th spot. You know what I mean? Yeah, so they're not even going to be there regardless. But if you're talking like Memphis with Ja Morant, you're talking New Orleans with Zion and Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, you're talking like Charlotte with LaMelo Ball. Like, you're talking about people that you want to build up as the next stars to take over for the older people that are moving out. The Carmelos, the LeBrons, the Chris Pauls, those stars that are leaving the game. I think the play-in tournament is a way that you can get those younger stars more TV time and more exposure to a national audience. Like, how many times was Charlotte on national TV this year? None. Like, unless you're a fan of the Charlotte Hornets, like, you weren't seeing them on nationally televised games. So this was a way for you to see Miles Bridges, for you to see LaMelo Ball and be like, okay, these dudes are exciting. I like the way these dudes play. So, yeah, absolutely, give me some more of this. It'll just be pros and cons. You'll take it for what it is. Ultimately, will I think the play-in tournament will stick around? I do. How soon it will go into like a full-time basis, I don't know the answer to that question. Maybe it's as soon as next year, but we'll see. It'll be something. I don't know when like the CBA is up for NBA players. So like when that, even if that's something that has to go through collective bargaining, you know probably what I mean? Will. But it's just something to keep an eye on there moving forward. And then hockey, obviously we're in the first round of the NHL playoffs. The Penguins play today at 3 p.m. So a great Saturday for day drinking and watching the Penguins game. They are up Game 4. They're up 2-1 on the New York Islanders. There.
Goaltending, boy. Defense, man.
We said it whenever we talked about it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They were going to go as far as Jari takes them, and Game 1 it wasn't necessarily his fault that they lost. They should have held that. They should have held out and won that game, but they didn't. They bounced back Game 2. He stands on his head, saves 37 of 38 shots, looks really good. And then Game 3, it's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, did you even show up today? Like, so yeah, I'm excited based off of what they did. I'm excited that they won their division. I didn't have high hopes for them. If they beat the Islanders and move on, then I'll start to get fully invested emotionally, because the way that they've broken hearts over the last 2 years with getting swept, I don't want to give you all of my emotion and then have you stamp on my heart again. Like, if I'm going to get fully invested, I got to have a reason to get fully invested. So I'll go from excited to invested once they win this series.
See, I'm the opposite right now. I kind of feel like I have faith that they can get through this series. I don't know if I can be invested in the next one for them.
See, I like the fact that Boston and Washington are beating the shit out of each other. So that's a physical series, physical matchup. Even though Boston's up 3-1, it's more like what's going on during the course of the game that gives me hope. I would rather than play Washington instead of Boston in the next round. Boston obviously is a tougher out than Washington, but I think, with Washington down 3-1, they're not going to hold back at all. So they'll be pulling out all the stops and all the shady shit that they do. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
Q Wilson.
Yeah. So you may have, if that series gets extended a game or two and the Penguins can wrap this up in 5, then like, okay, I'm good with it. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. Oh. All right. With that, anybody got anything else for this week in sports?
Yes. Wilder and Fury agreed to fight each other in July, I think, sometime.
Yeah. So
weird, but okay.
Well, no. So there's two things at play at how this came to be, right?
The contract.
The first thing is that Fury and Joshua, that was supposed to take place. We talked about this last week in Saudi Arabia. Those contract talks and negotiations, they kind of stalled. At the time that those were stalling, an arbitrator ruled that Wilder is owed a title fight. He's owed a third title fight. He's owed a rematch. So given the fact that the arbitrator ruled in favor of Wilder and the contracts stalled out, they said, well, listen, we already have the date set. We'll do it in Vegas. And then it'll be Wilder and Fury 3. And then after that, if Tyson wins, we'll move on to Fury and Joshua, probably for like October. So it was kind of like a two pieces of the puzzle kind of came together as to how this fight came to be for July instead of it being Fury and Joshua. I'm not mad at it. I don't know if Wilder will beat him. I mean, the second fight, he kind of blamed on wearing the costume out to the ring. And I mean, listen, what he said at first, it was like, what do you mean your legs were tired? But the fucking costume was a 50-pound costume and he wore it for about a half an hour. So like, it's like, well, first off, you're the dumbass that decided
who did that. Yeah, you knew. So
but at the same time, if you're walking around for 30 minutes carrying 50 extra pounds, like, yeah, I could see why you would tire out. I think Fury completely outboxed him in that second fight, and I don't see it going any differently whenever they fight again for the third time. I don't.
No, because what is it? A boxer will always beat a slugger, no matter what. On the triangle of boxing.
Yeah, Wilder got to show me you're more than just an overhand right.
That's it. Yeah.
And I don't think he can do that against Fury. So I'll pick Fury in that fight in July. Will I watch it? I'll
watch that.
That will probably be one that I'll probably, ask people to go halvesies on and get that fight.
Yeah, because that's a legit boxing match. You know, it's no Jake Paul versus whoever.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody got anything else before we jump into the world famous, world renowned One Gotta Go?
I'm good.
Let's
do it.
Let's hit it. All right, One Gotta Go this week. Shout out to everybody that participated with last week with the Fat Kid rendition of One Gotta Go with the Hostess Cakes elimination. Good back and forth with that this week. Again, as always, with our One Gotta Go segment, make sure you hit us up on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let us know which one you will send off the list, which one you predict has to go, and let us know whether or not we got it right or wrong. So with that being said, Chris, let's hop into it. What do you got?
This week, we've got a category that we haven't really touched yet, and that's music. So we're going to go with 3 female vocal artists: Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, and Adele.
This isn't even a hesitation. Adele got to go. Why is she even on this list?
Oh,
this isn't even a challenge.
Oh my God.
This isn't even a challenge. Why would you even why would you even have Adele on this list? She's not, no, absolutely not.
She's not what?
She's not what?
She's not one of the best singers in the world.
Look,
vocally?
Or songs, catalog?
Adele's catalog does not match up to any of those 3 women above her. You're crazy to even say otherwise. Her discography is nowhere near that of Beyonce's, Whitney Houston, or Mariah Carey. First off, Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey are 2 of the best vocalists of all time. Those 2 are safe on anybody's list. And if you vote one of those 2 off the list, you don't know music. So do you give Beyonce over Adele? With Beyonce you take Beyonce by herself plus Beyonce with Destiny's Child. There's no way Adele touches Beyonce.
For me, Beyonce can go off this list.
I'm with Chris. Beyonce got to go.
Crazy.
Yeah. Beyonce got to go.
Now,
crazy.
I'm going by straight singing. I see 3 singers. I see 3 singers on here and one in here.
I'm just going Beyonce by herself. Adele is so much better than Beyonce by herself.
You're crazy. You're crazy. I've never once woke up and said, "Oh, let me go buy that Adele CD. Let me go stream that Adele song. Let me go look up and see when Adele's new album is going to release." I've never once
it comes out September. Actually,
I'm the complete opposite of you. I've said the same thing. I can say the same thing about Beyonce.
Yep.
I listened to Adele. I look forward to her music. Beyonce is the complete opposite for me.
Yeah. I don't know
Jay, who do you got, Jay? So I can be mad at all 3 and not talk to you.
If I'm going to who I listen to, I'm taking Beyonce off the list. If it's who I listen to, Because I would have thrown Whitney up there, but I sing the greatest song of all like every damn day. But I'm taking Beyonce off the list. Sorry, let the half come get me.
Yep. I see 3 singers. I see 3 singers up there and 1 pop star.
Yo, please, anybody that's watching this live, please, I'm begging you, please, trash all 3 of these dudes.
Oh no, sorry, no
trash all 3 of these dudes.
It can't be no trash.
I'm sorry, I don't listen to Beyonce like that.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
you know, my favorite song was the song off of Goldfinger. Off of Austin Powers with Goldfinger.
I don't even want to finish the I don't even want to finish the show. I have no final thoughts. I'm done for the week. I will talk to you in 6 days. I'm done. Drop me off. I'm done. Drop me off. I'm done. No, I'm done. I don't even want to finish the show. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm done with all 3.
They had the video on Austin Powers, and I did watch a lot of that video, but I'm sorry.
Beyonce had 1 song.
I'm done. I'm taking the headphones out. Drop me out. I'm done. I'll talk to you like Monday or Tuesday. I need to talk about right now.
She got a lot of hits, but I'm not listening to them. Sorry, I'm listening to Adele.
Yeah,
All
one
right.
song. One song.
All right.
I'm putting Adele top on that list though. Yeah,
I'll see you later. Bye.
Of songs I listen to.
Bye.
Of songs I listen to, I'm putting Adele top on that list. Sorry.
I'll put her second.
I'm done. Chop this up and send it out because I'm done. First time a person walks off the Denmark's podcast, I'm fucking done. This is worse than your Turner's tea take, and I didn't think you get worse than your Turner's tea take. You got worse than your goddamn Turner's tea take. Fuck you. I'm going to listen to Beyonce and drink Turner's tea. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm done. I'll see you.
Sorry, but I walked off earlier. You can't.
He said I walked off early. We can't dap it.
Oh. All right.
Hey, but don't forget Adele's album is supposed to come out September with that Hot Fire.
And it's going to be 12 straight hits. 13 with a bonus.
Whatever it is. No skipping. No skipping a song. None. All of her albums, I didn't skip one song yet.
Not a damn song.
Not a damn song. Beyonce got one song.
That's three straight albums.
Without a group. She didn't build her name on a group. It was solo from the beginning.
Now I won't lie. Whenever I worked at NRM in high school, we used to have this Destiny Child CD stand. I forget what album it was, and like if they turned, like they rotated like around it. Anytime I worked, Beyonce always stared at the counter.
Not gonna lie, I had to walk away from my family doing that because they probably would shit on me too.
I think we need to have them involved. Open up the one gotta go.
Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Adele. Who you taking off the list? Mariah. Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Adele. Who you taking off the list? Who is it? Beyonce. That's a Mariah Carey and a Beyonce. Sorry.
There we go. We took it to the streets on this one.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I'm the new street team.
There you go. There you go.
One got to go street team.
All right, kids. Thanks for tuning in to episode 38 of the Dumb Marks podcast. For those of you that didn't walk away, remember that we are live every Saturday at 11 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So please subscribe, like, and follow our social media pages at Dumb Marks Pod. Message us during the shows while you watch live, or you can email us at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Our audio-only edition of the podcast is released every Monday to listen on demand on all your favorite podcast platforms. And most importantly, if you haven't bought it yet, our official Dumb Marks merch is available on Pro Wrestling Tees. You can visit prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod or visit our website, dumbmarkspod.com, and you can click on the merch link on there. Gentlemen, before someone sends it home, I don't think there's a quote of the week now, but anybody have anything left to talk about before?
It's a rant of the week.
Nope, I'm good. That's it. Just try to stay cool.
Happy birthday, Mr. T.
Happy birthday, Mr. T.
Took my shirt off, but happy birthday, Mr. T.
All right, so no quote of the week. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Maybe one less person. Who knows?
Adele said it best. I can't even quote a song. God damn it.
Set fire
Right
to the
now.
rain, baby.
Here we go. Quote of the week.
We can't have music in the show. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, follow us on all our social media pages. And until next time, you can catch us around the